Hey guys, so I think that one of the biggest changes that had to do with Paul and the new kidney everything that's going on with him, besides dialysis, of course, because dialysis is a huge change. And he has to go to dialysis 3 days a week currently, for 4 hours on the days that he goes. Um, I think the other biggest change besides dialysis has to do with the dietary adjustments that we've had to make. And like, I personally don't have to make these changes, but I'm choosing to because I feel like if it's going to be something that makes adjusting to these changes easier for him by me making these changes with him, then that's what I'm going to do because I feel like I need to be as supportive as possible for him because I know that this has to be something that is extremely hard for him to have to deal with because he's used to being able to eat, whatever he wants to eat. He's used to being able to eat sausages and hamburgers and potatoes and the typical American diet of whatever the fuck you want to eat, whenever you want to eat it. And obviously, when you have chronic kidney disease and end stage renal failure and things like that, to the point where you need to be on dialysis in order to survive, which is where Paul's at currently. Things have to change. He has to watch his potassium intake. He has to watch his phosphorus intake. He we switched to where we aren't consuming dairy anymore. I think today we went out to eat and we went to a restaurant, a pancake house, and we had something that had a little bit of dairy in it, but even at Starbucks, we changed stuff to soy. We don't buy milk anymore, we buy soy milk. Um, we have bought the Silk dairy-free yogurt alternative and things like that. We also don't buy like dairy ice cream and things like that. They have dairy-free alternatives. Like Rice Dream makes their own like ice cream, and it's actually really creamy and it's really good. If you're open to trying something new, I think that you might be surprised by how tasty it is. I definitely was. I didn't think that it was going to be as good tasting as it was, but like I've said in a couple of other videos, I don't know if I am lactose intolerant and just didn't know it. um, but I have, like, before, when I would drink milk or like eat a bowl of cereal or like eat some ice cream, my stomach would hurt. Like, I would have pain in my stomach. And with the soy milk, I don't get that. Um, you know, I just don't. I don't have those problems. So I don't know if that's something that is helpful for me, obviously, because I don't have that pain anymore. So I just feel like, for someone who is just finding out that they have like this serious medical condition where they have to change like a lot about their life and their dietary choices. He used to love eating like whole grain foods, and we never ate white bread. He and I always would get like wheat bread or honey oat bread and stuff like that. And now he has to eat white bread. He can't have whole grain anything. Um, he's not supposed to eat wheat bread and things like that because apparently, white bread, even though it has all these chemicals and stuff to bleach it white, it's supposed to be healthier for you. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to judge it, but I just know that it's something that is keeping him alive. So that's what we have to do at this point in time. He has been given information about like a kidney transplant and things like that, which they do say that he should get a transplant in the future, but currently he is not open to that idea. He says that he doesn't think he needs one, and he currently does not want to get a kidney transplant. So I don't know how that's going to go. I honestly don't know how long you can survive on dialysis without getting a transplant. I've heard it's like 5 to 10 years or something like that, which I hope he would change his mind about being open to a kidney transplant because, I'm not looking forward to losing someone again. I feel like I'm losing everyone in my life that means something to me. And, I don't want to lose him too, just because he doesn't want to get a transplant, when a transplant, would mean that he wouldn't have to go to dialysis 3 times a week. He would still have to keep those dietary things in line, and he would have to make other changes dietary wise, but he wouldn't have to go to dialysis, and he wouldn't have to have as many strict restrictions physically and things like that, because he has a dialysis catheter um, on his chest. Goodness gracious. Right now, but they're talking about putting a graft in his leg, so then they can do dialysis in his leg instead of in his chest. So it's just a long process, and there's a lot to like process mentally. For me, I'm sure it's worse for him because it's actually happening to him, but I feel like I'm also affected because I'm right here going through it with him. Obviously, like I said, I'm not the one who has to go through dialysis. I don't know how that makes him feel. I just know what he tells me and what I observe for myself when I pick him up from dialysis. And I don't know. I just want him to be okay, and I want him to be open to whatever treatments that they think he needs. Because whatever is going to give him more time on this earth, I think should be something he's open to. Um, but anyways, I guess that's just me voicing my thoughts on Paul's health and a little bit of an update on like our dietary restrictions and things like that. And I say our because, like I said, um, even though I haven't been told by a doctor that I need to make these changes, I'm doing it to support him. So then it's easier for him, and there's not all these temptations around him constantly, um, you know, at home and stuff like that. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.